Yeah, obviously, it was a good win, and you have a look at that scoreboard, and never really sort of, you wouldn't have thought, that was going to be the case. Obviously our first half we got off to a really good start, and we were, you know, really building pressure, nearly all that half, and so I was, really happy with, how we handled that. The second half sort of, it is hard to, um, for them to come out and go flat out again. That's what we sort of wanted to do, but it sort of fizzled out a bit the game in the second half, I thought. But like I say, I couldn't be too critical. I thought our first half was, we started exactly the way that we wanted to start, and then we just continued on with that for the rest of the 40 minutes.
Did you feel like fatigue started to set in, especially in the second half? It was 35 degrees, it really was so hot out there.
Yeah, it was always going to be tough for both teams, with conditions. That's hot, 35 degrees, and so we were just hoping. I think the possession was even in the first half. I think both sides completed about 75% or whatever, so it was pretty even. So I think probably both teams tied a little bit the second half, which is only natural, and like I say, as I said, the second half certainly wasn't nowhere near as many points, from both sides in the second half. But I think, as you say, the weather conditions probably took a little toll after the first half.
How pleasing was it to see Ryan Papenhuyzen outstanding what he did?
Yeah, that first half, I think that's probably the quickest and the most slick he's looked, since he's come back. Since he's had a horrific run of injuries. Like they haven't been just like 2 or 3 weekers. They've been 3 or 4 months. And so like I say, to come back how he has, it just goes to show the amount of work he's willing to put in, and I suppose his patience as well. Like I say, his first half here this afternoon, it was outstanding, and I'm sure he'll only get a bit better from here, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he'll have a good injury run.
Has he and Munster had a falling out or something?
What happened?
I just scored that bomb to try. It's one
Yeah. I don't know. They might have had a bet on who was going to score the first try. Then I don't know. It wasn't like Paps, to be quite honest. I imagine the other way around. Munster would show and go himself, try and score the try himself. But Paps is not usually like that. But hopefully it won't happen again.
You mentioned yesterday you wanted to see an improvement in defence. Obviously they got a couple of late tries.
Yeah.
So pretty happy with that.
Yeah, especially like during the trials, I thought, I'm not quite sure what it was, whether it was a bit of, system, or whether it was just a bit of lack of effort, and, knowing it's trials, and, perhaps it's not as important as a competition game, but really wanted to see that improve. And like I say, a little bit disappointed, them scoring a couple of tries in the second half. But having said that, can't be too hard on them. The way they played the first half, and I think they only scored there right on half time. So it was just a really good performance, that first half.
How did you see Munster's performance today? There was a lot of talk about him coming back leaner and fitter, particularly after the double hip surgery. How did you see?
Yeah, I thought he was one of our best players today. I thought, he has been fully invested, in the pre-season, and he's just a bit light. I don't think he's lost any strength or any, certainly not any speed. He hasn't got a lot of that to lose anyway. But like I say, I just, he just took the game on, a whole heap today. And I think that's when he's playing his best footy, and just losing a couple of kilos, I think, has really helped him, do that.
Was there a conversation that he had with you in the off-season about coming back and wanting to do his intention, or was it just something he decided to do?
We had a bit of a chat about a couple of things, but certainly I didn't sort of say, hey, you need to lose some weight. not quite sure whether his partner Bianca might have thrown threw something in there. I'm not quite sure, but at the end of the day, he come back and I think I'm not quite sure this is right, but I think Bianca might have said, like you're going to lose weight, and like he said, like he was going, that was his plan. And I think Bianca said, you'll never do that. So he got his back up and he did. So yeah, like I say, I think it's really helped him, and obviously he's a lot fitter and a lot more able to get involved, which the more he's involved, the better we're going to be.
How did it feel out there for you guys carrying him on the field? Like, I think it was tough. It was a dream, I suppose.
Yeah, I think it was good to have some footy back, and I just, what sort of I enjoyed or what was pleasing, it didn't have to worry about anyone else doing their role. It was just go out and do your job in the present moment, and I feel like we really did that as a team. That's a team mindset, and I think that's a really pleasing thing from today. I know we put some points on the board, but they weren't really off set plays or trick plays. They were sort of just playing our game, and everyone just doing their role within our system, both sides of the ball. So I think on the conditions wise, it was very warm. Definitely took a toll, and then we had some positional changes. So yeah, that second half probably could have been a whole lot better with the way we went about things. But in saying that, you always knew that Parramatta were going to get a response after half time.
How hungry is a win like that to start the season that way? In fact, and then one change to Stefano, that unit, the galvanising that squad, you guys, it felt like, it looks like you guys are just so close. Like, how can you give us sort of an insight into that dressing room?
Yeah, it's a pleasing thing, I guess. In a position that we probably haven't been in for a number of years, where we probably haven't lost too many players from our top 17. We sort of added Steph and a number of guys that are sort of playing reserve grade have played some footy last year and are much better for the run. You've seen the likes of Tyron Wishart, Grant Anderson, Jack Howarth, Jonah Pezzett's come back from a knee injury. Those guys are all a lot more experienced from last year's season, and yeah, I think it's just about having that balance of staying hungry as a group and going after something together. It's a clean slate really for us, so I think that's sort of the way we started today. The pre-season we've had, it's one sort of notch on the board, but there's plenty in front of us, so we'll just take it week by week and look to get better where we can.
Harry, how important is it mentally to get that first game out of the way and with such a positive result after last season?
Yeah, I think it shows, I guess, that a lot of people care about where we're at as a team, and what's important to us, and it's performing well. It's turning up every day, looking to get better, and putting the team first at whatever we do. I think it probably a lot of guys were keen to play some footy, but like I said, that last year's result is in the past. It's last year, and we can just take our learnings from it, and we've got a clean slate now, and we're not guaranteed to be back there, and that's a long time away. So we just got to keep turning up week to week and day to day and getting the best out of ourselves, and just enjoying the journey that's ahead, because there's a lot of footy to be played, and there's a lot of good times ahead for us.
Craig, Jack Howarth looks like he's going to take his game to another level this year. Outstanding performance today.
Yeah, he's had a lot better pre-season than previously. He's always been a very talented athlete, big, strong and quick. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying this, but I think, the couple of years before, it was like he was expecting it just to happen without putting some work in. Without doubt, this has been his best pre-season. Like he come ready right at the start of it to put some hard work in, and you can just see, the result of that hard work out there today. He was cramping up a bit, but he You know, I think he had more moves than anybody else in our team, and you know, I think he had 17 runs, so that's a really high amount for a centre. But like I said, you know, I think you know, he sort of took him a little bit to realise that, you know, just natural talent just doesn't do it for you. You know, you put the hard work in and put the time and effort, and that's what he's done. And you know, he's reaping the rewards. He was really hard to handle out there today.
Craig, I mentioned like the buys hasn't come at a good time, so how do you kind of set up your week leading into the Panthers game?
Yeah, again, it's you know, to get a bye round 2 is not ideal. But you know, it is what it is. So that's what the hand we've been dealt. So we'll deal with it, and you know, we'll come back in for a couple of days tomorrow and Tuesday, and then we'll give them a few days off. Come back over the weekend, and you know, start preparing for our next game, you know, which is against Penrith. So, like I said, you know, it is what it is. So we've just got to try and make the most of it, and you know, make the best of it.
Thanks, guys.
No, thank you.
Thanks, guys.